Hi, legends. Welcome to another episode of Wavematics Weekly Forecast for June 12 to 16, 2023. And today we're going to have a very interesting analysis on our charts. And before we start, those with us live now, let me know if you can see my screen and if the sound is also okay for you. Just leave me a comment section and give me a confirmation if everything is all right at your end as we journey together to look at the profitable setups for the week and look at how we are going to trade it, how we are going to manage our trades, how we are going to manage our trades, and also how we are going to profit from it. So just like we always do, we are going to start with the dollar index. Then as we look at the dollar index, then it will help us to look at the majors and see how we are going to also trade all the majors. This is what we are looking at on the US dollar index. Last week, I did give this analysis, and we saw a very interesting scenario in this particular one. And now this particular week too, it has not really changed much. So we looked at this particular forecast where after we are looking at a 5-wave move to the upside for wave 2. Then now after wave 1 through 3, last week we did talk about we having this scenario of a possible ABC. Then now price is really going as planned then, but as you can see, I'm just looking at having one more move to the downside before price move upward to complete the red wave 5. So in this particular week, what we are expecting is price should continue. I want to see, though price is currently at the 38.2 fib level, which is a very interesting scenario, which can be the turning point. But I want to still price move a little lower to give me a 5-wave. It's possible for price to give us a WXY, but as it stands now, I'm looking at an ABC. So I want price to really make one more move to the downside for a wave 4, after which I'm expecting price to continue the bullish scenario. So in this particular way, we are going to see a short-term strength in the dollar, and with that understanding is going to help us trade the EURUSD and the other major pairs. The EURUSD and the other major pairs. So it's a very interesting scenario. It's a very interesting scenario. So if with this understanding, let's jump straight into the EURUSD and see how we are going to use that one to trade and manage our trades also. In EURUSD, this is also a very interesting scenario after wave 1 through and 3. Now we are seeing this particular correction and in to see price just like because of the correlation between the dollar index and the EURUSD, I want to see price also move a little higher. There is a possibility price can decide to break from this particular low of the channel, but as it stands now, as price stays within this particular channel, everything that is happening is a correction. So we are going to get a confirmation more when price break out of the channel. But if I should get a move to the upside to break this particular top, then I'm going to get in early when the reversal starts coming. So that is what I'm looking for. EURUSD, I'm looking for a one more move to the upside. But if price should decide not to go to the upside, then I'll wait for a breakdown of this particular channel support. Then it gives me more confirmation that price is coming to continue to give us the final wave of the ABC that we are looking at, the final wave of the ABC. So once we hit the end of the wave B, then we are going to have this being a confirmation level. We are very certain that, okay, we are going to have a final move to the downside. If we look at the next pair, now with this understanding, let's quickly also look at gold. Let's look at gold. Before we jump into gold, let me know where you are connecting us from, where you are watching us from live. I'm currently speaking. If you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Peter Pearl. I'm connecting to you live from Toronto. And let me also know where you are watching us from, either the city, the country, or the province that you are watching us from as we journey along the way. So now let's jump straight into gold. In gold, we do have a very similar scenario in gold, which price is given a very interesting scenario. If you could remember last week, I did talk about this particular pattern where, as price was giving us this scenario, I think we were looking at a wave 4. We had a trend line here waiting for a breakout of that particular trend line. So initially, this was my wave 4. So this is what we call the pattern progression. You first count it in a 3-wave pattern. Then as it breaks your trend line, you look at what pattern unfold and whether you're going to get the move to the downside that you are expecting, So as we break out of this particular move, I was expecting a correction for us to go down. Then as the pattern progressed, I could now see that, okay, now price is forming a triangle. That is why it is important to understand this in a whole, so that as things change, you can adjust yourself. So instead of the 3-wave, now I see more of a triangular wave of an A, B, C, then D and E. I want price to complete this particular triangle. It can even be a contracting flat with a 3-wave move, but a triangle is going to be a perfect scenario since it's also a wave 4, and this looking about this side looking as a zigzag, then a triangle is going to be a very perfect scenario for wave 4. So if the triangle should play out, then we are going to trade a triangle this particular week as we are looking at the short-term dollar index, the strength in the dollar index, to push gold also down to complete this particular wave B. So that is what we are looking also for gold. So wait for this 3-wave, this 2 correction scenario to give us an A, B, C, D, E. Once we get that particular A, B, C, so we are looking for a wave D and E, then it's going to finalize the wave 4 that we are looking at to really start selling this particular pair to give us a move to the downside for a wave 4, a move to the downside for a wave 4. So the next pair that we are going to look from, okay, we are getting some people connecting us from, okay, Bobby is connecting us from Europe. I can also see Jamal also from London. So if you have any pairs, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at the comment section and look at these particular pairs. Today we are going to move a little faster so that we can analyze a lot of pairs. So the next pair that we are going to look at is the US Japanese yen. In US Japanese yen, it's a very interesting pair. We are seeing a similar scenario. We are seeing a similar scenario on the US Japanese yen. Last week we did talk about it. We were anticipating price to move downwards from this particular side where we were looking at this being the end of the wave Y. But as I always talk about pattern progression, as we were looking for price to move downwards from this particular level, it started forming a new pattern. And now I'm seeing a triangle scenario. So a triangle scenario at this particular end side is telling me that, okay, then that means price is preparing itself for a one more upside before we can see the drop that we are anticipating. So now we have a chance to trade price to the upside one more time before we look at we getting a reversal sign from this particular channel resistance for the WXY, the completion of the black WXY, after which we will start looking for a move to the downside. So this particular week, how do you trade this particular? It's very interesting. It's very simple. Wait for price to really come down for the wave E. And if price comes down for the wave E, you can get your entry at where the wave D ended, to trade it one more time. If you are also a scalper or you are also like entering trades at in an aggressive mode, once the wave D comes in and wants to form the wave E, you can get an entry also closer here with your stop loss at the end of the wave A or C to give you a tighter stop loss. That is if you are going for the aggressive entry. But apart from that, then you can wait for the triangle to finish, then get in at the end of wave D once the 3-wave, the 5-wave pattern of the triangle is finished. So that is what we are looking at for USD Japanese yen, USD Japanese yen on this particular side. Those with us live now, let me know in the comment section if you are watching the live stream live now, or you watch the replay version. So let me know in the comment section if you are watching us live, or you are watching also a replay version. If you're also joining us from YouTube, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm going to leave the link in the comment section so that you can also watch us live from the from YouTube, and also subscribe and click on the notification bell as we look at. The next one we'll be looking at is the pound USD. In pound USD, now this particular week, we are not seeing a little different from last week. Just still we are looking at this particular wave too. So now price is giving us this WXY inside this particular channel. So we want to see if the dollar is going to have a little strength in this particular week. Then this is also a pair to look at, because it's also at a very interesting level. It is also at a very interesting level. So what we want to see now is price giving us a reversal sign to start, because now we are within the 61.8 and 78.6 reversal zone. So we want to see price give us a reversal sign. Once we start seeing that reversal sign, then we are going to sell for this particular move to the downside, because we are looking at a wave B, an ABC for this particular one, and we are seeing a correction for the wave B. So this can either be wave 1 or wave A wave 2 or B, 3 or C. But as price starts giving us the downward move, as how it progresses, going to make tell us whether it's going to be a wave 3 or C when we start putting our fake projections on this particular one. So that is what we are looking at for the pound USD. Let's quickly look at the USD Swiss. The USD Swiss in this particular instance. In the USD Swiss, we are also looking at a similar scenario after the leading diagonal for the wave 1 that we were looking at. Now price is giving us this particular complex correction, a double 3 of the WXY. So in this particular week, after we see this sharp move to the downside, I want to see a correction, a little move also to the downside for an ABC for the wave Y, the ABC for the wave Y. After that, when we start seeing price within the 50 to 61.8 fib zone, we will start looking for the reversal sign to continue as the dollar strengthened this particular week. So watch out for this particular pair in this particular week. Once we get that particular downside, we want to see price break this particular trend line to the upside. We are currently in the 50.6 price is currently tested the 50% fib zone, 50% fib zone, and it bounced off, but I still want to see an ABC. There's a possibility of price coming up to the upside right from this particular zone here. But before I joined the long trades on this particular one. If it is happening that way, then I have to wait for it to break our blue trend line, before, after a break of it. If we see a break of it and we start seeing a correction, that is where I'm going to get in. Other than that, I want to see a break of the low one more time before I get in on this particular pair. So let's quickly jump also to the Aussie dollar. Has not really changed that much. Aussie dollar has not really changed that much on this particular pair from what we discussed last week. As we looked at the move to the upside, now the wave 1 is still ongoing. We can see the correction that we are looking for at wave 2. Let me jump straight into the legendary trade room and check on so in this is what we are looking at in the daily. Let me quickly show you what I'm looking at in the daily. So after this particular wave 1, we are seeing a WXY for wave 2, a WXY for wave 2. So we want to see, we are expecting a move to the upside for a wave 3, in the long run. So that is what we are looking at. So price to keep pushing to the upside. So if you're not yet in the trade, you look for any pullbacks or corrections to jump into the trade at this particular level. Jump into the trade at this particular level. So now that is what we look at. If you are if today is the first time you are seeing the legendary trade room, that is what the paid members always see. Every pair that we discuss, they have the 4-hour, the daily, and the weekly. Then on the trade room, the legendary trade rooms, so they have access to the market analysis and everything. So if you want to join us, then take opportunity of this. We are currently having some promo sales ongoing at 50% discount. So you can join us. Just go to pearlmarkets.com as is being displayed on the screen and just click on give me the promo. It's going to take you to our pricing so that you can take advantage of our lifetime lifetime pricing. Either you want the annual or any other thing, you can get more of the promo pricing. So with this understanding of what we are seeing for the dollar index, let's quickly look at the Kiwi dollar, which also have a similar scenario on it. So now last week I did discuss this particular one when we had this particular move. So I told you that we want to see price move to the upside like this for an ABC. Then once the channel form, wait out for a breakout of it. And it's very simple because these patterns keep on repeating itself all the time. Then once we had that particular pattern, price broke out of this price broke out from this particular channel to the upside. So how do you trade it this particular week? As we've broken out of it, wait for a correction. It can be a 3-wave correction or anything, any small pullback that you get. Then you can join it, just like that is like a smaller version of what happened here. A smaller version of what happened here. So if you get a correction like this, also now join it and ride the wave to the upside on the Kiwi dollar. So in Bitcoin, let's look at some few crypto. Let me jump and look at the update I'm having on Bitcoin now. In Bitcoin now, last week we were looking at price moving to the upside, but everything shows that the correction is not yet complete. So now I'm looking at still looking at an ABC with the wave C be an ending diagonal for this particular wave 4 to complete. So I'm looking at a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for an ending diagonal on this particular levels. Once we start seeing that the channel is still active, so we want to see price start giving us a reversal sign if this ending diagonal is in play. Though I do have a bearish count, but I'm going to share that one later. But as it stands now, this is an update on the bullish count that we looked at on Bitcoin, the bullish count on what we look at on Bitcoin. So we want to still price push a little lower to either the 25K or 24K before we start looking for the reversal sign on Bitcoin. Let's quickly look at the pound Japanese yen. Let's quickly look at the pound Japanese yen. In pound Japanese yen, there is also a very interesting scenario going on here. Now we've been looking at this particular wave C for the wave 5. So with this particular expanding and still looking at price completing this particular ending diagonal, and today we've added an invalidation level for the ending diagonal. So if your price should come to break the 176.056 level, then it's going to be invalidate this particular ending diagonal because it's going to make the wave 3 the shortest wave. But as it stands now, we want to still see price give us a lot of divergence. Then we want to see price reverse at this particular level because of this particular kind of squeeze that we are seeing at this particular level. Once price keep on giving you this speed, then definitely it's going to come to a time price is going to fall from this particular zone. Price is going to fall from this particular zone on this particular side. So that is what we are looking at on the pound USD. That is what we are looking at on the pound USD. So let's quickly look at once we are at the pound. Let me show you an update also on the pound Aussie, which is also giving a very interesting scenario after the break that we have now. After the break of this particular expanding flat, just like I did talked about, whenever we are having expanding ending diagonals, most times it's a price to keep on pushing. So this is just like what we are looking to happen on the pound Japanese yen that we just discussed. As this expanding ending diagonal was going on, we were anticipating to look at, okay, then a 4 is going to we're anticipating a 4 on that particular one. And just like the Aussie, the pound Aussie, expect something like this on the Japanese yen also. So now that we've gotten the 4, which has broken this particular ending diagonal support, we want to see price give us this particular move for a wave 2 to be within the 50 to 61.8 fib zone. Then after that, then we are going to look at a move to the downside to continue this particular wave 3, So that is what we are looking at on the pound Aussie. So this particular week, just wait for price to move a little higher within this particular zone. If you are scalping, then on the 1 hour time frame, if you get any move, short-term buy setup, you can buy. But for me, I'm more interested in the sell setup. So I'm going to wait for price to really get into the fib zone, after which I'm going to look at the reversal. So I did get a lot of requests on oil this particular week. So let me give you an update on what I'm looking at on crude oil. So in crude oil, this is what we are looking at on the 4 hour time frame for crude. On the 4 hour time frame on crude, we are looking at this particular scenario. After this particular wave 1, price gave us a WXY for wave 2. Then now price started moving to the upside. So this is what we are still anticipating for this particular wave. So we see a wave 1 and a wave 2. Then now price gave a spike. So we are looking at it for it being the beginning of a new trend, which is for the wave 3. So this is like a sub wave of the wave 3. We want to see price now inside this particular fib zone for a wave 2. So we want to see a correction to this particular move. So price giving us a move to the upside as it keeps pushing down. So we want to see price. So once price starts going to the upside, we will start looking for a breakout of this particular trend line and start looking for long trades on this particular crude oil. So now we want to see a wave 3 to the upside. So this is like a wave 1 of this red wave 3, wave 1 of this red wave 3, and we are seeing the correction. So we want to see price break out of this particular channel. Once we see a break out of the particular trend line, then we are going to look for a correction and also start buying on this particular pair, start buying on this particular instrument. So let's look at US 30 on this particular one. So in US 30 is giving us a very interesting scenario on US 30. Is a very easy to trade this thing. We've been tracking this thing for long. I've given a lot of update, which everything has been moving into the update. When this wave 1 in this particular move after the fib zone, after this particular fib zone, so we want to see a move to the upside to complete this particular blue wave 1, a move to the upside to complete this blue wave 1. Then we want to see a correction coming. Once the correction start coming in for this particular one, we want the correction is going to be a little deeper because of this particular gap that we are seeing here. We want to see price come back to fill this particular gap, and that is going to happen when the wave 2 correction is happening. So if you're not yet into the trade, don't jump in as quickly as possible. Wait for that pullback. Wait for the pullback to start happening before you start loading for the buy setup. And if you are a scalper, as the pullback is happening, you can also join the sell for the short term. That is after the wave A has completed. But I'm going to look at a fib zone between the 50 to 61.8 level on this particular one. When the wave 2 starts happening, the wave 2 correction starts happening, and if it gets in, and as I anticipate this gap to fill up, then I'm going to start looking for a buy setup on this on the long term for a wave 3, as this particular wave 2 just completed. So I want to see the prices of crude to move higher. Now let's look at DAX. Let's look at DAX. So in DAX, we have a very similar scenario on this particular one. After we had this break of this particular channel trend line that we drew. So if you look at this particular one, last time I discussed that we want to see after this move for this, whether wave 1 or A, we want to see an ABC which you can break this particular top, and we did that one, have that one as an expanding flat. Now price has started giving us this particular scenario. So this particular week, if that might be the beginning of the downward trend that we are looking at, then as this correction is happening, now we have this move down and we have this kind of correction that is happening. We want to see price continue to the downside after this particular move after this particular move. So that is what we are looking at on DAX. Let me show you what I'm looking at on DAX on the daily time frame. The daily time frame on DAX, so that as a bonus you understand my perspective very well on DAX. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at on DAX in the daily time frame. So we've seen a 5-wave, an ABC for wave 2, an ABC for wave 2. Then price is giving us this particular 5-wave for wave 1. So we want to which after which price will now go up for a move to the upside for the wave 3. So that is all that we'll be looking at for this particular week. If you are planning of joining us, then just jump into pearlmarkets.com. Just jump into pearlmarkets.com and look at what we are looking at on and get all our charts, all our analysis. We do give 20 chart analysis with trading opportunities every week on this particular legendary trade room. So just go to pearlmarkets.com and get your promo, which you can get in pricing at the lifetime is going now. We are having a 50% discount instead of the usual 497. The lifetime is now at 247. You can also get a 50% on our annual, which is going to go if it is going for 147. And the interesting aspect is now Wavematics Forex Accelerator course, which deals with every thing. I've taken time, hours of training, recorded everything about Elliott wave, everything about the wave theory and how to trade and analyze it from the lens that I also look at it. Now, if you take either the lifetime or the annual, it is also going for free. You are going to get the course also for free. So just take an advantage of it instead of buying the course separately. As the promo keeps on running, you can get advantage of the legendary trade room and get the Wavematics Forex Accelerator course for free. So you can once you are in, you can start your course anytime. It is on demand. There's a lot of models inside the course, and once you are done, it's not just a course. You can also you do assignment, you submit your assignment for video reviews and everything. It's a very detailed course, so I'll be expecting to see you on the inside of the legendary trade room. So my name is Peter Pearl, and thank you, and may we all have a very wonderful week ahead of us, and trade with care, and always make sure that you are using risk management and not just gambling. May the market be with us all. I'm out for now.